Hello all. I feel like I owe you guys a million videos. It's Life Insurance Awareness Month, and my goal was to post one video every week, but I just have not been video ready. I'm technically not video ready right now, but I'm sitting here waiting for this food that I'm hoping is going to be good because the spot that I wanted to get it from was closed. So while I'm sitting here, I said I'll shoot a video that I've been wanting to cover and that I wanted to cover this month. So, and I was talking to a fellow agent earlier and we got on the topic. So I'm like, I really do need to do this video. So, um, the video, and I've covered this topic. I've spoken on it in a few of my other videos, but I wanted to dedicate a whole video to it because um, a lot of people feel like the sole purpose of life insurance is to bury your loved one. And that is definitely one of the biggest pieces of it. And if you decide to get a policy that only will cover the final expenses and allow you to bury your loved one, then that's great. It is for that purpose. However, there are people who have the sentiment, like, for instance, you may not want to get a big policy on your parents because you don't want to feel like you're getting a come up from their death or you're profiting off their death. And I encourage you all to look at it differently. And I'm almost certain I said this in one of my videos as well. It's not like you're making a come up off your parents' death or making a profit. But most parents would like to, I would think, to make sure their children are straight, well off, taken care of, don't have to worry about anything after they're gone. It's just a parent's instinct, the same way most of us would like to take care of our children while we're here. I'm sure in our absence, that's something that most parents would want to do as well, So, if because I was watching something and somebody, every time an insurance video comes up and it's, trending on social media, somebody will inbox it to me and they'll ask, is it true or something like that. And the video was saying something like, the lady in the video, she told her children, she said to her, now this is the part I didn't agree with. She said to her children, I'm getting older. I think she was like in her 60s or something like that. And she said, I'm getting older. And she told her children that they should all pull together and get the most expensive policy that they could afford on her, split the cost. And, in the event of her passing, they all would have a decent, they all would have a decent chunk of money left behind, right? And she didn't mind. She told them to get the most expensive, the highest face amount policy that they could afford. And I believe she had 4 children, so, it would be split 4 ways. And they all would be left with a decent amount of money in the event of her passing. And I believe that that's absolutely a good idea. Unless you think your children are going to try to off you, for the money. But why not? If that is, your parents' desire, and they definitely want to make sure that you have money in the event of their passing, it's not, that's something that I would, I have life insurance policies on myself. But if my children, said, okay, it's 3, well, it's 4 of them, but, the youngest is a baby. My oldest 3 say, okay, it's 3 of us, and we want to get this $1 million policy on you, and we're going to split the payments. I wouldn't object to that because when I'm gone, they would have a decent chunk of money. But the part that I didn't agree with that the lady said in that video, she said, I'm getting older now and I'm going to preach this until I can't preach it anymore. Don't wait until you're getting older to start thinking about getting the policies. Don't wait until health issues start to creep up to start getting the policies, because that's just like if you're in a car accident and you wait until after the car accident to get the car insurance. It kind of defeats the purpose. It makes it harder to get the insurance. Not impossible, because remember, like I always say, the days of being uninsurable are over. However, it does make it harder and it's more expensive to get the coverage once you're older and once you start having certain health issues. So it's always best while you're healthy, while you're younger, just if nothing else, cost wise, right? But so that was the only thing that she said in that video that I I disagree with. But I want people to get out of the guilt, like the guilt mindset. Even if your parents had the policy and they left you this money, some people have expressed feeling guilty spending it because I feel like I'm profiting off of my parents' death. No, it's nothing to feel guilty about. This is what your parent had foresight and made provisions for you while they were still living so that you could live a certain way after they were gone. So let go of that guilt. It's not like you're profiting or you're making a company. You're doing absolutely what they wanted you to do. They wanted you to have this money after they passed. And the second part that I want to address is that the money is not only for, think about it like this, it's not just to bury your loved one or to pay for the cost of their cremation. When you lose a loved one, especially depending on, if it's a close relative, parent, child, sibling, etc., you may not be in the mental, you may not have the mental capacity to return to work right away. The way bereavement is handled, especially in this country, you get like 4 or 5 days paid bereavement, right? And you're expected to go back to work. I used to work for city government. When my father passed, I got 4 days paid leave. And when I returned back to work, we were actually the city was going through like a ransomware type thing. So our systems were hacked. We couldn't really do much work. So, but I know I wasn't in the work mindset. And I used to do Instacart, where you go and you shop, you pick up the groceries for people you shop for and you deliver it. I used to do Instacart, and I tried to return back to Instacart, and I never got back into Florida. I tried to return like maybe a week or a week and a half after he passed, and I just could never I couldn't. And I just felt like that was him, like, no, because he always told me I was a workaholic. He used to joke around that I was Jamaican because I had a million jobs, stuff like that. But when a loved one passes and your job is expecting you to return back in 3, 4, 5 days, or you can stay out longer but you're not going to get paid for it and you still have bills, that life insurance policy will give you a bit of a cushion if you just can't function enough to return back to work, and that's the part of the conversation that I was having with another agent earlier. She knows someone who just experienced a great loss, and we was just saying that that's a piece that people rarely think about, how it will give you that cushion. Trying to just feel like yourself again, trying to be normal again after experiencing a significant loss is tough. So having to go back into a job and act normal, or go back into a job and you're trying to not cry, or try to not just be engulfed in grief, and everyone's asking you, are you okay? I'm so sorry. Just everything that's bringing it back up. You may need some time off work just to go through the grieving process, and that's something that life insurance policy will afford you to do. And it's other reasons, it's other purposes to have life insurance, not just the two that I'm speaking about in this video today. But I do have a video where I did a list of the purposes of life insurance. I believe I even linked the article to the video. But today I just wanted to cover the fact that you shouldn't feel guilty. You shouldn't feel like you're getting a come up from your parents' death. You shouldn't feel like you're profiting off their death, because most parents, the thought that they can take care of you beyond the grave is comforting to them. It may help them even rest in peace to know that you're going to be okay, and also that if you're out here and you know that you have loved ones that you're going to be responsible for taking care of their final expenses, and or that you're going to be absolutely devastated in the event of their passing, you may want to think about the fact that the life insurance policy will allow you, if you need to be off work for a little bit of time and still pay your bills while you're grieving. So I'm going to end this video here. It wasn't intended to be very long. My next video may be a little longer because I want to go over some of the terminology that's in some insurance policies. I'm actually going to get a few of my policies together, and I'm going to read them. I'm going to read through them, so that because I get on here and I talk about exclusions and different things, but I want to actually read through a few of the policies, and see how some of the terminology differs from policy to policy and from company to company, and also to just so to help you guys get familiar with some insurance terms that you may not be familiar with. So that's going to be hopefully the next video. But if something else jumps in my mind that's a little easier to do before I sit on here and read through a few policies, I may do another video before that one. But yeah, that's about it. That's all I had to say. Cross your fingers that this food is good, because this spot that I'm at, the food is pretty good, but I don't know if what I had a taste for is going to be good from this spot. So fingers crossed. But that's it. I'll talk to you all next time, and as always, I'm wishing you love, laughter, and life insurance. Bye.